How do we make sure that what we're doing is best for our kids? How do we both protect them while still letting them make their own choices? It is a difficult position for all parents, knowing what the best decision is to make for our children. And this is especially true when it comes to the kids in the LGBTQ community. As a parent, you want your child to be happy in their own skin, but you're terrified for how others may treat them based on what makes them happy. In the LGBTQ community, there has been heavy debate on how to go about this conundrum, specifically for our trans-identifying youth. The concept of having your child be on display as quote-unquote different is a grueling task that many do not know how to go about. Well, I'm here to tell you, to reason with you, and to beg you to prioritize your kid's happiness over the fear of others' judgment. Hormonal altering medication, typically used to alter the body's hormones if one does not identify as their birth gender, offers a way to do so. And I know, it can sound truly terrifying to a person to grasp the concept of your child going through such an ordeal, especially when you're also scared that they may one day wake up and change their minds. I understand. All you want as a parent is to protect, to guide them, to make them happy. And I implore you to focus on their happiness above all else. A child who feels like the skin on their own body doesn't belong to them is a child who is scared of themselves, scared of what that means. So I beg you to listen to them. Listen to what they truly believe will make them happy. Now, I know there have been conversations about hormone-altering medications and therapy, with some fearful about the long-term effects. It makes complete sense. But Lexi McGowan, a double major in biology and a healthcare ethics intern at McCarla Center for Applied Ethics, explains to us in her 2023 article that one of the options, the puberty-suppressing releasing hormones, do not make puberty not happen, which is a common misconception. All they do is delay it until the child has more time to solidify their identity. She also goes on to say that in a research study, out of 55 people who took this medicine in their adolescence, every single one who participated continued to identify as the gender they felt they truly belonged to. Not one person regretted it. Now, I am very aware that 55 people do not speak for the masses, but we cannot ignore this research. Kids are more aware of themselves and their minds than we give them credit for. We need to listen to them and understand that hormonal medicine is not permanent. This option is only temporary. If, by chance, they happen to change their minds once they're off the medicine, their bodies will continue to develop as they once were before the medicine. Now, more permanent solutions as a minor is more of a heavy subject, obviously. Surgery, while still reversible if need be, is not a simple choice. That is not a decision made overnight, and I do not want to give the impression that it should be. However, if a 12-year-old has been on these hormonal medications for 4 years and knows in their soul that this is the journey that they want to continue on, and the body that they are so uncomfortable in makes them contemplate suicide, which, as we all unfortunately know, is a real consequence of not having access to gender-affirming care, we need to put some trust into these kids. Again, a scary and uncomfortable thought. But to go off what Norman Spack, a pediatric surgeon, says, he is the founder of a transgender program at the Boston Children's Hospital. In 2015, in his opinion piece, he says, when adolescents are given access to this surgery in their youths, the risk of suicide deeply lessens. This information is also backed up by Aaron Digital in 2022, a senior science writer in the Office of Communications, who quotes a Stanford University research that said that people who started hormonal therapy in their adolescence had less thoughts of suicide and substance abuse problems later on in life. And that is when I ask you this. Is your fear of a surgery worth your child's life and happiness? I would truly hope not. There are too many transgendered kids losing their lives, whether it be their actual living, breathing life or the substance of living. We cannot allow this to continue just because we are scared. Because I can tell you this, those kids are more scared than we will ever be. Being forced to be confined in a body that doesn't feel like it belongs to you while everyone is shouting in your face about how you're too young to even know what you want. What an isolating, traumatizing experience to have. And we have to prioritize their fears over ours. Because while we are scared of them being bullied, they are scared of having to be forced to live a life that doesn't feel like their own. And we must act quick. There are laws being created at this very moment, according to the 2022 information given by Heather Bowen, a healthcare and science specialist. Over a dozen state legislators are attempting to ban care for transgendered youth. This includes allowing refusal to refer to these youths by the name they have chosen and not giving access to the medicine that helps guide them in their journey. This would affect almost 60,000 teens in America. 60,000 lives, 60,000 voices that are being silenced. And this isolation, as I've stated, can be dire and frightening. And you're going to say I'm beating a dead horse, and that's okay. But there's actual science to back this up. In 2022, Aaron Connors, a writer from the American Journal of Psychiatry, went over the research by Rickard Brandstorm, PhD, and John Packins, PhD, that says, verbatim, the study found among transgender individuals with gender intrusions undergoing gender-affirming surgery was significantly associated with a decrease in mental health treatment over time. The research does not lie. It is not here to spread some liberal agenda to confuse the youths of today. It is here to help non-transgendered identifying people understand how important it is to listen to those who do identify as transgender. Our children are not dumb. They know themselves better than anyone else ever could. They just need our support. They need us to trust in them, to believe in them, to know that it is okay to feel confused and scared. They just want to feel seen and feel heard. And we need to give this to them. We need to take away our fear of the unknown. This is their journey to go on, not ours. And I realize that it is hard to separate the two. I do. But at the end of the day, we can't let our uncomfortability become theirs. We can't let our fear become theirs. What we can do is let our acceptance become their reality.